fourth graders, and welcome back. I am Mrs. Lamondo here to talk to you all about decimals. Today we are up to comparing decimals. Let's check it out. We're going to start with a little video that talks to us about comparing. In this video, they might go as far as going into the thousandths place. We only go to the hundredths in fourth grade, but I still think it's a great overview to show us what to expect when comparing decimals. So let's check it out.
And 65 thousandths. The greater number is the alligator's preference. He looks at the place values from left to right, finds the greatest tenth place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
107 thousandths and 11 hundredths. The greater value is what the alligator gets. He looks at the place values from left to right, wants the greatest hundredths place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
209 thousandths and 4 5/10. The gator eats the one with the greater contents. He looks at the place values from left to right, wants the greatest one's place, so he takes a big bite.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
Now the numbers are the same on both sides. The gator wants to eat, but he can't decide. Neither is greater or less, it's a perfect tie. So the alligator writes an equal sign.
The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast. The hungry alligator eats the value that is greater. The value that is least is never part of his feast.
If there's a line underneath the greater than sign, greater than or equal to is how the sign is defined. I'll write a line underneath the less than sign, and less than or equal to is the name of the design.
Hi there. I'm an alligator, so let's keep this snappy. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you that the greater than symbol goes from big to small, and it's called the greater than symbol. The less than symbol goes from small to big, and it's called the less than symbol. The larger number always goes on the open side of the angle. For example, this reads as 50 is greater than 10. And this is read as 10 is less than 50.
Visit numberrock.com for exclusive content, lesson materials, and more.
Awesome. Now, sometimes when we're watching that, it can seem a little bit confusing, but I promise you it's not. Let's check out some comparing decimals. Remember, the big side goes to the bigger number. Now, since in fourth grade, we only go into the hundredths place, oftentimes it helps students to think about money. So if we see this image here, it says 2 and 61 hundredths, 2 and 75 hundredths. That can be kind of confusing, but maybe you think about it this way. I have $2.61. She has $2.75. Who has more money? Sometimes it helps fourth graders to think of decimals as money. So that might be something you try. Let's check out some problems together. All right, so first one is going to be super easy because we have 75 and 8/10 and 9 hundredths. Well, think about it like money, right? If we look before the decimal point, we have 75. That's like $75. If we look before the decimal point here, that's a zero, $0. Oh my gosh, we don't even have to really do anything with the decimals because $75 is a lot more than $0. Let's look at number 2. Again, it's helpful to look before the decimal point. So we have 5 and 3 hundredths versus 22 and 8/10. Look at the number before. $5, $22. Who has more? Big side to the bigger value. $22 is more than $5. All right. Let's look at our next example. Again, another easy one. Number 3. 37 cents, $0.37 versus $8 or 8 and 4/10. Don't really worry about what happens after because before we have a 0 versus an 8. We know 8 is bigger. Let's look at number 4. We have 3/10 and we have 3 and 68 hundredths. Well, if we just look before the decimal point, 0 or 3, which one's bigger? That's easy, 3. Now, there will be times when we have to look at the decimals. There's no way around that. And our next problem, problem number 5, is similar to that. So let's take a look at that one. Number 5 says 3 hundredths, 5/10. So here we have zeros before. Well, that doesn't help me. So then we look to the next one. We have a 0 or a 5. Well, that's easy. I definitely know what's bigger between a 0 and a 5. Let's pause here. Insert the right symbol. What's bigger, the 0 or the 5? The 5 is bigger. Let's look at number 6. This is going to be another simple one. We have 40 and 8/10 versus 71 hundredths. Look before the decimal. We have a 40 or a 0. Let's pause here. Insert the correct symbol. 40 is greater than 0. Let's look at number 7. Number 7 says 42 and 7/10 and 36 and 3/10. The numbers before the decimal are not the same. So that's easy. Which one's bigger? Let's pause here to insert the correct symbol. 42 is bigger than 36. Let's look at number 8. We have 3 and 74 hundredths, 96 and 9/10. A 3 versus a 96. Wow, that one's easy. Which one is bigger? Let's pause here. 96 is definitely bigger. All right, I'm going to set up my board for the next 4. and then we will go through them and practice them. So for number 9, I have 7/100 versus 1 4/10. For number 10, I have 7 1/10 versus 95 1/10. For number 11, I have 7/100 versus 5 9/100. And for number 12, I have 6/10 versus 7 7/100. So let's go ahead and fill in the correct symbols for our last 4 problems. Let's pause here. For number 9, we can really just look at the number before the decimal point. What's bigger, 0 or 1? That's easy, 1. For number 10, again, we can look at the number before the decimal point. What's bigger, 7 or 95? That's easy, 95, big side to the bigger number. Number 11, what's bigger, 0 or 5? That's easy, big side to the bigger number. And our last one, 6/10 versus 7 7/100. A 0 versus a 7. 7 is bigger. All right, 4th graders, today we will be completing a Google form all about comparing. So let's take a look at that. So we can see here, you're going to put your name. So again, look at the number before the decimal point. If it's not the same, decide which one's bigger. If it is the same, go to the next one. So we have 75 8/10 is what compared to 9/100? 5 3/10 is what compared to 22 8/10? 37/100 is what compared to 8 4/10? 3/10 is what compared to 3 68/100? 3/100 is what compared to 5/10? And 40 8/10 is what compared to 71/100? As always, if you need any help, feel free to check in with your teacher. That's all for today, 4th graders. Until next time, see you then. Bye.